Okay, hello, Las Vegas. I kind of jumped the gun there. Well, I hope you guys are out there surviving this hot heat. This is Monique Buchanan, your local Las Vegas realtor. This is the Welcome Home with Monique show, and I have yet another great show for you. Now, listen, I know it's so hot out there, and I don't know if you guys have heard, there's a rapper, Plies, that I was cracking up, you guys. He was on IG going off about his $2,800 light bill for his power down there in Atlanta. So apparently it's not just us, okay? It's not just us here in Vegas. Everybody is struggling with these power bills because, you know, as the earth is warming up, guess what else is going up? The cost of this power, to keep us cool. So that is why I have my friend in the solar power industry, Mr. Bernard Lowe, on again today. And I'm going to continue to have him come on because I am a true believer in solar panels and solar power. I'm getting my tongue twisted, Bernard. Thank you for coming on.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it very much.
Yes, well, it is well needed because I'm telling you, they've heard me say it before. When Nevada Power sent me that $450 power bill, I called them. I thought they had made a mistake. And they said, we definitely have not, and man, I immediately said, it's a no-brainer. I've got to get solar. There's no way I'm going to pay over $2,000 just for the summer for power. Well, guess what? That was back in 2017. We just had another rate hike with NV Energy again, 3 days ago?
Yes.
That's crazy. So tell us a little bit about that. Go ahead and start.
And that is a very key point that would make this show very great today is that Nevada Energy just got a rate hike.
Another rate hike. And they can continue to raise.
If you look at buying a home or getting a loan and the interest rates keep going up and you can't do anything about it, that's what's happening with the power industry right now through Nevada Energy is the rate hikes are continuing to go up. And it's nothing that you can do about it.
I like that. You know what I'm going to say about that? I really like that. That's a great way to think about it because everybody that was around back in the day when the crash happened, they remember there were those terrible loans out called the ARM loans where they just went up and up and up and up. You know what I mean? There was never an ending to it. So people were losing their homes. Well, that's the same thing. Like you just said, there's no stability. There is zero stability with staying with Nevada Power. They can continue to raise your power bills.
Right now is an excellent time to go solar. And a lot of people always say that the only reason why they don't go solar is because it's a loan.
Right.
But if you think about being in a loan with the interest rates constantly going up all the time,
I wouldn't do
and
it.
Nothing that you can do about it,
right.
You'll end up with astronomical bills each and every time. So, like right now, as you were saying earlier, there's people with $700 a month power bills.
Oh, yeah.
$800, $900.
Well, and remember, NV Energy's loan to you, because like you said, that is a loan. Whether you realize it or not, you're paying it every month.
Yes.
That's a lifetime loan. And that's a loan with no balance. You will always pay and never pay it off.
Well, look at this. Think about this. Okay, whatever you pay every single month, it's mandatory that you pay it. If that's not structured like a loan, what else is?
Right.
Okay. If you're late on that, you get charged an interest rate.
Right.
A late payment.
Absolutely.
Tell me that's not a structure like a loan.
That's definitely a loan.
Well,
it sounds like a loan to me, Bernard.
If you don't pay it, it gets disconnected.
Right.
Tell me that's not structured like a loan.
That's absolutely right.
If you continue that pattern, it hurts your credit.
Yes.
Tell me that's not structured
exactly
like a loan.
like a loan.
So it is a loan. You're just not told that it's a loan.
And you just have no balance to pay off the loan.
Yes.
Now, you brought a guest on as well, right, Bernard?
Yes. Now, Terry is a very high knowledgeable person in the industry of solar. She's a great mentor. Nice. She's based out of California. Mm-hmm. She coaches an extraordinarily large team, and she knows the ins and outs of everything solar.
Okay, great.
And so we do have Terry on. But before we do get to Terry, let me just let you know that there's no money down to go solar. You
Well, that's
can
always, right? There's
always.
your company, there's no money to down for the
It's
solar.
never any money out of
And
pocket.
it's also free for you to come over and give them an estimate and let them see, what it looks like for free.
Exactly.
And so they have questions. They can call you over. There's no obligation. Let you at least come over and say, okay, this is what we got, and this is what it'll look like for you. And that's free of charge as well, right?
Exactly. You being in the mortgage industry, do you know that when you do go solar, it increases the value of your home?
Absolutely. Especially if those solar panels are paid off, that is a huge incentive. Because let me tell you, my buyers are knocking down doors that have paid off solar panels. They understand that that's a huge savings for them and for the life of while they live in the home.
Yes. Now, let me introduce you to Terry Loftus.
Hi, Terry.
Hey, I'm so excited to be here. Thank you so much.
Thank you for coming on. We're excited to hear your knowledge about the solar panels. I just want to kind of have you come on and talk about the benefits, if you can, to my listeners, because I already have solar. I've had it for 7 years. Every house I ever will own will have solar. Hands down. I'll never go back.
Awesome. There are so many benefits to going solar. Of course, there's so many, it's hard to list them all, but the main highlights, other than helping the environment, is when you go solar, you are taking control, right? So you have some stability there. You have some predictability because, Monique, if you finance your solar, you know what that monthly payment is every month. You don't have that $450 bill or
right.
a $700 bill and then a $30
right.
late part or whatever.
No,
you know exactly what your payment is when you have solar.
Yeah.
And so it's an amazing feeling where
Terry,
you don't have to have that stress.
No more crying at the mailbox when I open up my Nevada energy bill and I'm like ready to go shopping. And then I open up my bill and see that power bill. And then I'm like crying all the way back up to my door. No more of that. Right.
I think the benefit that I absolutely love the most is that you don't come up with new money when you finance solar. So when you go solar, so you'll see, when you get your electric bill, right, and you see how much you're paying every month for that electric bill. When you're financing the solar, that financed payment, you're not coming up with new money. So it's not like buying a car where you have to think, do I work weekends? Do I have the money to afford this? I've got this extra, $400 payment or whatever it is. With solar, when you're financing it, you don't have to come up with new money. There's no looking for this money to be able to pay for the solar. You're already paying money for your electricity. Right. So you're just redirecting what you're already spending. So it's not new money. When somebody says they can't afford solar, that just means they don't understand how it works, because you don't have to come up with new money. You take what you're already spending on your electric bill, and now instead of spending that on the electric bill, you're using part of that for your solar payment. And then what you have left over, that's your profit or your savings. And the utilities usually have a small accounting fee. Monique, you probably have a little fee that you pay every month to the utility, but it's very inexpensive. Sometimes it could be like $10.
Yeah.
Low amount that you pay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then that difference is your savings. So you're saving. But the other thing, like Bernard talked about, is that once it's paid off, it's free electricity.
Absolutely.
Like once you own that solar and you've finished paying it, you're all done. That is your power plant, and now you have free power. And it will last. The warranty for most solar is 25 years.
Wow.
So this could be your solar, and then if you give the house to someone else, it can be their solar. I was told there's solar in outer space, solar that's out there for 50 years that's still producing power. So it's something that's going to last a long time and be an asset to the house.
Absolutely. And that's the thing is, you said that's the key point. Everybody has to understand that you have a balance. You can pay this off. You will never have a balance where you can pay off MV Energy. You'll pay that. So when you retire and you're on a fixed income, you still have that power bill that can go up and up and up. So if you were to, if you would have bought in solar, you'd probably be having free power where it's not dipping into your money every month, you know? So I'm a true believer.
Yeah.
And like you said, you're still paying for your power, but guess what? On average, you're paying like 40% less than what you would have been paying. So when you say you redirect that money, you're not bringing new money, heck, you're bringing half the money you were paying before. So I just don't understand. Yeah. I'm like, it is a no-brainer for me. I will never buy any house I live in will have solar. It doesn't make sense for me to pay, 2 times as much for no reason and have no balance? Never pay it off? It sounds like a timeshare to me. I'm not doing it.
Solar is an IQ.
Right.
It's an IQ. So, again, it's just common sense.
Right. Absolutely.
What makes the most sense? To continue to spend with high interest rates,
right,
or to save and own.
Right. And I paid nothing up front when I bought my solar.
Yes.
Yeah, there was nothing up front. They came, they installed everything. I didn't pay a thing. They put all the stuff in place. And hey, I've been happy ever since. So that's why I've been having, I want to have you and Terry on, because I'm a true believer, an absolute believer. It's not only helping the environment. You have governmental incentives that you can get for having solar. You're saving money every month. That's the main thing, right? We need our money. Energy is, you're not dependent on a company for your energy anymore. You're at their whim, praying they don't go up again. So, yes, I am a believer in solar. And if you are interested in getting in contact with Terry or Bernard, you can reach me at 702-984-3700. I will get you in touch with these folks. They can come on out, go over everything with you for free, and then you can make your decision if you want to move forward or not. Now, I know you guys don't have to put them on top of the house. You can put them in the yard as well, right?
Yes, you have 2 types of systems. You have a ground mount and you have a roof mount. The ground mount, for those that don't like the pigeons, and there is a system that we can install to keep the pigeons out. But for the ground mount, it's normally a construction project. Terry, talk about that real quick.
So if somebody, just the pigeons, if somebody has pigeons, we can put a critter guard around it so they aren't affected by that. If they live in a neighborhood, they're going to want a roof mount. If they have some property, they can do a ground-mounted system, and that's just where we mount the solar on a racking on the ground. It is a little bit more because you're actually having to build a structure for the solar instead of it going directly on the roof. But if somebody, some people will have extra property and they can't have a roof-mounted system, we would just put it onto a racking system onto the ground.
Awesome.
Nice.
So, again, for those out there that are suffering from high energy bills, now is the time to go solar.
It absolutely is.
And keep in mind that the rate hikes are not going to stop. And right now, the July bill, that high July bill that you will be receiving in August, and any time now, you're going to get that August bill, that July bill that you're going to open up in August. And when you do open up that bill, you'll be wanting to contact Monique so that she can contact both myself and Terry.
Absolutely, you guys. Seriously, no more crying at the mailbox. Just go ahead and consider solar. And if you want to go ahead and move forward with a free consultation, you can reach me and Mr. Bernard and Terry at 702-984-3700. 702-984-3700. They will come over, have a seat with you, go over everything, go over all your options. There's no obligation. Why not find out about what you've been hearing about, okay? But find out from the real, true professionals. Thank you, Terry, so much for coming on. Thank you, Bernard. We appreciate you guys very much. And thank you guys for what you do, because it's actually helping our environment and you're helping my pocket.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Okay, guys, so listen, we're going to go ahead and pivot on into the real estate segment of this show. This is Monique Buchanan. If you're just tuning in, I just had my solar professionals on, Miss Terry and Mr. Bernard. They were going over the benefits and reasons Nevada Power is, is raising their rates every other day, and I just can't take it. I don't know about you, but I switched over about 7 years ago, and I will never, ever turn back. My monthly power bill is $130, and that's where I like it, and that's where it will stay for 25 years. So anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you, which you guys probably already remember and know, Mr. Anthony Valentino, my lender. He's going to come on and give us the update of the market. Anthony, thank you so much. How are you?
I am fantastic. How are you, Monique?
Doing amazing, because our clients are happy, 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 and in homes. So you want to give us an update?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, obviously, I always advise my clients, in order to be informed, you have to be in the know, and you have to surround yourself by, the professionals that are constantly looking up and understanding current events and the markets, because it's ever changing.
Right.
What happens today is different tomorrow. And it's just like it's just a wave of different things that can affect the market and how it's, shown in the current events. And right now there's a whole bunch of economic warfare going on in the form of, there's just a lot of uncertainty. And so there's a lot of people out there giving their take on what's to come, because it's volatile. Right now, the economy is going through a big resurgence. The inflation has dropped from, 9.2 this time last year to now it's at 3%.
Wow.
So we've come a long way, and we're only 1% away from what the Feds want to see.
The goal, right.
Yeah, the goal, which is 2%. And we're right there. We're within 90 days of hitting that goal. And once we hit that goal, we still see insolvencies in the bank. And, Fitch Ratings just downgraded the U.S. currency and marker from AAA to AA plus. But you got people like, Jamie Dimon of JP Morgan Chase and other constituents saying it's ridiculous that they've put down the rating, because other countries are dependent upon us,
right? Yet
they have a higher rating than us, and so it's really just it's ridiculous that other countries have a higher rating than us when their economy is dependent on us, and we're still the number one to go. So in the nutshell, it's tumultuous right now, but there is a silver lining, and that means by the end of this year, we're going to start seeing rates stabilize, and all throughout 2024, rates are going to come down. And so we are advising our buyers, buy now, date the rate, marry the house. That way you don't have to fight for the house, and you just have to refinance once the rates stabilize, and you don't have to wait in line with the other 50 million people who are going to jump off the sidelines once they start seeing these rates come back down.
Right.
So that's the stick there for sure.
I like what you said, Anthony. You told my client, which is so true, and she agreed. If you're waiting around for these rates to drop, you're waiting for a longer line and higher prices. That's what you're literally waiting for. So it's like you're not really saving. You know what I mean? In their minds, they're thinking, oh, I'm going to wait because I'm going to save somehow. But no, I went through it. I went through when the rates were 3%, and my clients had stellar credit and had money to go above and beyond the purchase price. And we still were not getting a home accepted because they had many other people in the same position. We were offering $20,000 over list price. And that is what's going to happen again as soon as those rates drop. So you're absolutely right. Don't sit on your hands and wait for the line to become long and the prices to go up, because that's what's going to happen. We still have short inventory, very low inventory.
We do. And when you look at the appreciation historically, just in Vegas alone, we were seeing 6, 8, 10% appreciation over the past 5, 10 years. And so, next year we're only seeing like 1.5%, 2%, but the next 5 years we're seeing between 22 and 28%. Right. So it's going to be a stutter step of appreciation, but that stutter step is still showing an appreciation of, if you buy a house, every 100,000 you're gaining 25,000. A $400,000 house in 60 months you're gaining $100,000.
Wow.
And so, as we see these rates go down, it's like right now, like we're tapping our clients on the back, going, "Hey, while everyone's sleeping and not informed, let's grab the house. Let's get it at a low price or with closing costs. And then that way, once everyone wakes up and realizes, wait a minute, the rates are not going up, they're going down. The biggest thing people go, Anthony, well, rates used to be double digits. What's to say it's not going to go back? Well, they were double digits in the 70s and 80s when house prices were like $100,000.
Right.
And, the inflation and cost of living, insolvency and all that has changed where if we had double digits with house prices now, you would have a $15,000 mortgage. It's just not sustainable. And in fact, when you look at what Powell, the head of the Fed, talked about last session, he stated, we know that these rates are unstable and we know that they're not sustainable, but we have to get through this year in order to start back quantitative easing or printing money. So even the Feds acknowledge that the rates are high, and that should be a green light for our clients to go, if the federal government is nodding their head knowing that they're going to dip the rates, we should jump in before the market gets crazy.
Absolutely. Yeah, there's no need to wait because you're not going to get the great deal. You're not going to have the negotiation power. Or should I say, myself as your realtor, I won't have the negotiation power like I would right now. So if you're just tuning in, this is Monique Buchanan. I am talking to my lender, Mr. Anthony Valentino, and we are just going over the current market and the reason why you should not listen to your coworkers or your golf buddies. And our honest opinion is for you to seriously buy now. Don't wait for the long lines. And so that's why what he's doing is he's giving you the reasons of why you should exactly do that. And then, we've got clients right now that you've been working some out. Like I've been telling my listeners, my clients are not just settling for this rate. My lender is getting them the lower rate. Can you talk about how you've been doing that?
Yeah, I mean, it's a testament to you because you don't just push a button. You go and you negotiate, you press the agenda. You go to the seller's day and you go, let's make a deal. Let's make this happen. You're
Absolutely.
not just waiting for it to fall in your lap. So,
Yes.
and then
Thank you,
and
Anthony.
I are working together.
It's true. We have to do that. We have to work out that deal. Right.
Yeah,
But that's with your
50%.
expertise as well. You tell me how we can maneuver and make my client happy and comfortable with their payment. And then that's what I do is I go negotiate it. But you give me that knowledge. So if you want to share that knowledge a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you said, we don't just pre-approve our clients. We fully approve our clients so they know their payment, they're out of pocket, and they're confident.
Right.
They know what they're doing at all times, and it's a good experience. And, we talk with our clients and we ask them, what's your story? What are you trying to do? And then we reverse engineer it. We don't tell them what to do. We tell them to tell us what to do because at the end of the day, we want them to be clients for life. We don't want them just to be a transaction. We want them to like us after this.
Right.
And so it's really important to understand what they're trying to do. They'll come to us and they say, Anthony, I need this payment or I need this out of pocket.
Right.
And we make it happen based off of what they want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And that's when I send it to you and you go, hey, Mo, we need this much in closing costs. And then you get creative,
Right.
Most agents, they go, we can't get 10,000 in closing, where you're like, well, if we add 7,500 to the purchase price, then, it's
we can
only
make it happen.
raising their payment, $15, but we're dropping the rate by 2%. You are the catalyst to that. And that's where having experts like yourself and I who understand the market, understand the logistics, can really set up our clients for success with how we negotiate and how we set up the loan.
Yes, and I appreciate how you dig deep. All my clients just love how you take the time to not just look at the numbers, but to look at the overall picture with them. They appreciate that because a lot of people, they just, okay, what are your numbers? What is your credit score? And what is this? And what is that? Okay, you're not approved. You know what I mean? And you don't do that. You say, okay,
No.
What's going on here? Maybe we can refinance this car to get you there. Okay, your debt to income's a little bit. You do the work. You don't just, look for the slam dunk client and move on. So I appreciate you for doing that. So let's talk about the buy down a little bit. The buy downs that you've been doing with the clients.
Yeah. No, traditionally, people buy down the rate for the full 30 years, and then they have like a 4 or 5 year break even, meaning how much it costs them up front versus how much you're saving. And then every month they save, they meet up the cost. Whereas now, when the rates are heading down, we know that, within the next 24 months, 100% of all loans that are being done right now are going to be refinanced. And so it wouldn't make economic sense to buy your rate down for all 30 years,
Right.
get a fixed rate, but push all those savings into the first 2 years. So instead of buying your rate down from 6.8 to 6.5, you're buying your rate down from 6.8 to 3.8.
Right.
And then the second year, 4.8, then the third year, 5.8. And within that 18 to 24 months, you can refinance. So we're leveraging the understanding of how the market is going, and we're making sure that the client is taking advantage of that through being informed. And so I would not be doing my justice if I told a client, hey, spend $10,000 and buy your rate down 0.25% over 30 years. And then in 6 months, the rates go down organically to the 4s. And they go, well, I just wasted all that money.
Right.
Whereas if I push all that in the front, they save all the money up front. And with the buy down programs, whatever money you don't use, so if you refinance sooner than what you save, you don't lose that money. It goes and it gets applied to the principal reduction. So it's a fail safe, and it's a win-win on all levels.
That is a definite win-win. Right.
In 6 months from now, you can refinance.
And there you go. And I was going to say, there's no, like whole year waiting period. You can refinance. Once those rates drop, they will be able to take advantage of that, because a lot of people seem to think that they have to wait a year or 2 years to refinance. So can you break up that myth really quick for them? When can they refinance?
You can refinance as soon as it shows that it's economic. You do not have, there's no prepayment penalty, there's no wait penalty for conforming loans for the buy downs. You can refinance as soon as possible, and you don't lose that money. It goes to you, it goes to the reduction. Think of us as like tax accountants. And this is why the rich get richer, is because it takes money to make money.
Absolutely.
And they go to these CPAs who understand the tax code, and they find all the loopholes. Whereas if you go somewhere like, H&R Block or Jackson Hewitt, they just
rush you through like cattle.
And rush you through. Whereas the same goes with who you use as your realtor and lender. If you have a realtor that just pushes you in to get an escrow, or a lender that pushes a button and they're not following math, you're not getting the best economic situation possible. And that's why you and I are busy when most people are not, because we care about our clients and we follow the math. Right. And we're not.
And it's more than just a deal. We want our clients, like you said, to like us. After we sell them the home, we want them to still like us afterwards. I don't want them over there eating noodles mad at me. You know what I mean?
They're not. I tell my clients, you're not a transaction to me. You're my client for life.
Right.
And, we've had our cell phone numbers since we were 16 years old, and we're going to be talking to them, when we're old and gray. And that's the beautiful part about this. It's a people business.
Yep.
That, we're in the business of people that happen to help people get houses.
Absolutely. So let me if you're just tuning in, this is Monique Buchanan with the Welcome Home with Monique show. I've got my lender on, Mr. Anthony Valentino. We're telling you that we are selling homes right now, today, and our clients are in the low 4s and 5s, and Anthony is the wizard that is doing this, okay? It's happening, guys, and he has figured out how to do it. We were sharing a little bit with how he does it and how we can do it for you as well. So if you have been thinking about purchasing a home or selling a home, you can reach me and Anthony, 702-984-3700. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Anthony, for coming on.
You're welcome.